I want your soul.
If you want me to watch porn with you, I will, my wife Kim reluctantly says to me. Only if you want to. If you're not into it, then don't look at it, I say. No, I'll watch the porn, Kim says. Well, do you want me to look for something? I ask. No, I'll do it. I don't want to watch anything weird. All right, go ahead then. Get whatever porn you want on and get it ready. She scrolls through 20 of the videos that initially comes up and then pushes the next button for 20 more videos to appear. This video looks familiar, Kim says to me. Really? Let me see. I watch the video for a few seconds and I have no idea who that man or woman is. I'm not talking about the man or the woman, Kim angrily says. I look closer at the video. Holy shit, that's our kitchen. Oh, don't pull that, she fires at me. Like you didn't know that was our kitchen. Last Christmas, you said you were going to find ways to make extra money, but you never said that you were going to use our house for porn videos. Don't pull that, like you didn't know that was our kitchen. What? No, I didn't. You thought that I would get off on our house being used as a porno set? Look how that tramp is sitting on our kitchen counter, she said. I see that, but I swear I had nothing to do with this. I've really had enough of it, Kevin. I'm going to stay at Cheryl's house tonight. Wait, honey, I swear I had nothing to do with this. This is outrageous. Whatever, bye. She shouted at me and then she was gone. I knew that no matter what I said, she was going to leave. I scratched my head trying to figure it out. If it wasn't one of us who rented out our house, then who was it? I watched the video very carefully to see if I could see anything distinguishable about our kitchen so that I could put a time frame on when the video was taken. After studying the video, it looks like this video could have been filmed this week based on where the microwave is on the counter, which would make sense because the videos are sorted by the newest releases. The part that I really can't figure out is that I work mostly from home and I only go out if one of my clients' businesses is having issues with their landline phones, which is not really frequent because most people are working from home now. I see the sunlight coming in through the window on the porn video, so I figured that this video had to be filmed on Tuesday, which was the only day that I wasn't here. This is really strange because that would mean that they were sitting and waiting for me to leave the house, which also makes no sense. I can't see this being the first time that our house was used as a set though, so I scroll through the other videos. Oh shit, here's another one and this time they're in our bedroom. Wait a minute, why am I in bed? Why is this man and woman having sex with each other while I'm asleep in my bed? It looks like I'm sleeping. What? But that's not my wife, which makes it even odder. Oh my god, is that my wife? How the hell did I sleep through this with them being inches away from me? I study the video closely and for a split second I see something really unexpected. Holy shit, that's Kim's reflection in the mirror of her dresser filming this video. She must have drugged me. I wonder why I felt like I had drank 2 cases of beer the night before when I didn't even drink anything. But why? Why would she go and do something so completely off the wall like this and then accuse me of doing it? I know that my income has been drastically reduced, but I still can't stop thinking why she would do something like this. I searched the house to see if I can find the handheld camera that she used in the video, but I don't see it, so I figure that it must be in her car or something. That's really fucked up of you, what you did, I send a text to Kim. I wait for a response and I don't get a reply, so I send her another text. How did you even decide to start doing something like this? Still no response, so I text her friend Cheryl and write, Cheryl, please tell Kim to respond to me as soon as possible. And then I get a text message on my phone from Cheryl, and she says, I haven't seen her in a few days. Aha, another deceitful act. This is supposed to be my wife. I feel really emotionally drained, so I go ahead and head upstairs and rip the blankets off my bed and get new ones from the closet. How do other spouses deal with this? What am I supposed to do? So I type into Google, wife filmed pornography in our house while I received non-consensual sedatives. Wow, with the billions of people on Earth, this might be the only time something like this has ever happened because I'm not finding any advice on Reddit or Quora or any other social media platforms. Being at my wit's end, I decided to just go to bed for the night. I'm not sure what else I can do at this hour. It takes me a few minutes to wind down, but my eyelids get heavy and then I finally fall asleep. A few hours later, I wake up and look at my phone and see that it's 1 a.m. and I have to go downstairs to go to the bathroom. I look over and I don't see Kim on her side of the bed, which makes me sad because we've been married for 10 years this July, and minus this really odd hiccup that just happened, I thought we really loved each other. Why the fuck is she filming porno in our house? I get up out of bed and make my way towards the stairs. I get a little bit cautious because I see the downstairs light is on, but then my senses get even more heightened when I hear voices coming from downstairs. Oh no, not another porno shoot, I softly say to myself at the top of the steps. I listen for a few minutes and then I hear a male voice say, "We agreed on $400 apiece on the 9mm and $2,000 on the AK-47s. "That's fine, I have the money," another male voice responds. "Okay, well then how many do you want?" "Give me 15 of the AKs and 20 of the 9mm. "Ivan, get the guns from the van and bring them in here." The thought that I accidentally left the television on downstairs quickly fades away when I hear footsteps coming from the downstairs. She turned my house into a black market for gun deals too? I do my best not to make a sound because I'm thinking if any of these people downstairs hear me, they're probably going to kill me. My wife didn't have the opportunity to drug me tonight, so what in the fuck is going on here? As I stood at the top of the stairs, I now realize why I've woken up about 5 to 6 times a week, covered in my piss, because she was drugging me. However, I was convinced that I also had a prostate problem or something like that. I remain motionless until about 20 minutes go by when the footsteps leave the house. I go downstairs and nothing looks out of the ordinary, so I would have never realized that this was going on in the house unless I woke up in the middle of the night. In addition to porno, apparently she's renting out our house to arms dealers too, which is absolutely terrifying. Turning our house into a porn set without my consent is bad enough, but the violence associated with gun deals, that's another level. How did she find an arms dealer, and how has this worked out that our house would be where the guns would be exchanged? I can't get this thought out of my head. I'm sure she's making money from these business ventures, but why? I've never been so terrified of being in my own house before. The odd part is that I have vague memories of what I thought were dreams, where something diabolical was happening downstairs or that strange people were having sex in my bed. But those dreams must have been real, and I was having lucid moments from being drugged up. My mind is now going through other dreams I had, which I am now questioning were they actual dreams or were they real events happening in my home. In particular, I focus on a dream I had where loud yelling followed by loud bangs were heard. Was there a shooting in my house? Oh my God, I say out loud, and the possibility sinks in. I slowly walk down the steps because I'm thinking that I'm pretty much dead if someone is still in the house and sees me. I get to the bathroom of the steps and let off a sigh of relief once I realize that everyone is out and no one's there. I did recall that Kim did some redecorating around the house a few weeks back, so now I'm really suspicious of why she did that. She put up a gaudy framed print of an eagle in the living room, which caught my attention. I walk up to the print and I remove it from the wall. I look closely at the print and realize that there's actually 2 bullet holes behind where the print was located. I really just want to get out of the house now, but I don't even have a car because I sold it when we were having financial problems, and I was only using it sporadically to drive to see my clients. Kim's a social worker at the children's hospital. She would always tell me how crazy things were at the hospital, and she would be on the phone when she got home from work, so I would never question her actions. But who would? We live in a nice, quiet area where we have a long driveway that's not visible from the road, and I'm now realizing this is the perfect setup for everything that Kim is doing. Nobody in this area would ever suspect shady enterprises like arms dealing or porno productions would occur in this neighborhood. But why would Kim make the leap from a social worker to a B&B for wicked enterprises? I can't stop thinking about that and what's going to come through the door next. But why would Kim make the leap from a social worker to being an Airbnb for wicked, evil enterprises? I can't stop thinking about it and what's going to come through the door next. Part of me wants to run out of the house, but where am I supposed to go? And I have too many questions. I never, ever had a contingency plan for something like this. I know we were struggling a little bit, but Kim was making enough money at the hospital where I thought we were fine. I quickly go to the bathroom and then I rush back upstairs to try to piece everything together. I sit on the bed and second guess everything in our marriage. For starters, Kim takes care of all of our finances because she's the organized one. But I guess I should have questioned why she was always getting raises at work, where she claims that she makes close to $200,000 a year, which would be needed to cover our mortgage and other expenses. But if someone could make that money as a social worker, then why bother going to medical school? I end up laying down and going to sleep. I need to get some rest because I need to process all of this by myself, and I can't do it if I'm exhausted. In the morning, I call the Children's Hospital to confirm my suspicions, and after getting transferred to a bunch of different apartments, I'm finally told that Kimberly Johaski hasn't worked in the hospital for over 7 years. I now have to question everything and anything that has occurred with both of us. We met at a grocery store where my then 28-year-old loser self was going down the potato chip aisle, and she asked me to get something on the top shelf that she couldn't reach. And then she started talking to me, where I was really taken aback because she was easily an 8.5. And on the look scale, I was about a 4. That encounter at the grocery store, I now look at being suspicious because she referred to me as the man of her dreams. We got married in Vegas within the next month. She fell in love with this house the moment she laid eyes on it, so we bought it. But now, it's obvious that she intentionally picked this house because it's perfect for her business dealings. I guess the biggest tell was her applying for her permanent residency and then her citizenship, which now looking back at was my biggest contribution. It was never me or our marriage. She told me that she was from Latvia, but her accent was very minimal, where I would liken her to a chameleon because she could change her voice to an accent that she heard. I was the perfect mark for her. I have no family, and my friends are random people that I play Call of Duty with online. To me, Kim was my wife, but to her, I was the green card, and now the nuisance. As depressing and heartbreaking it is thinking about our marriage, I really need to focus on my safety at this point. Somebody like Kim doesn't allow herself to be exposed unless she wants to be exposed. She basically led me to the porno that was shot in our house, and then acted like she didn't know anything about it. But why? What is her motive for letting me into her dark enterprises? I feel like I've aged 20 years overnight from the stress that this has caused me. The only thing that I can think about is that she wants me to go to the police, so I somehow will incriminate myself, which really worries me because it's apparent that there was a shooting that occurred downstairs, and I wonder if somebody died here. There's sunlight outside now, so nothing will happen when I'm scheduled to be in the house during the day, so I should have time before the next dark business comes into the house. Maybe she didn't want me to go to the police. Maybe instead she wanted me to walk downstairs last night so they'd kill me. Maybe she wanted those arms dealers to kill me, that way she could go to the police and pin everything on me. I mean, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Considering that she has close to $2 million in life insurance on me, and that covers everything from suicide to murder. As the evening hours approach, I get more and more scared of what will walk through the door. This is typically the time when Kim cooks dinner for me, and unbeknownst to me, up until now, I've come to believe that she's been putting sleeping aids in my food. I'm really concerned about looking around the house anymore for the fear of what I might uncover. However, I reluctantly go to the basement because I don't know where else she would hide her pills and other stuff. There has to be more to this story. I walk into the unfinished basement with its concrete walls and concrete floor, and I can't help to think what awful things have happened down here. As I look at the single metal folding chair that's intentionally placed in the middle of the room, I start to go into shock. The last 24 hours have been manic for me, and my mind has been all over the place. All I can picture now is one or multiple people that have been tied up in that chair, where their final moments would have played out. The floor is covered in what I always thought was dried paint, but now I don't want to walk near the splotches because they could be dried blood or other human fluids. I carefully make my way to the rusted metal shelving units, and I start to open the first of 10 metal doors. The first one has nails and miscellaneous tools like a hammer. The second one has rope and duct tape that I quickly try to erase from my mind. The third has old rags that I push aside, and the last reveals pill jars after pill jars of Klonopin. And I even see propofol that was used to sedate Michael Jackson, wasn't it? And I think that ultimately killed him. I stop looking through the shelving units and head back upstairs, and with my head down, knowing that my so-called wife has been on a tear of deceit and lies for quite some time. I figure the best thing for me to do is to go to the bedroom and stay there until Kim's next dark business enterprise comes through the door. I'm hoping that they're porno actors, because as disgusting as something like that is happening in my bed, at least they're not dangerous. But without Kim, who was apparently their director or camera woman, I would seriously doubt that adult movie stars would come through the front door. I look at the clock and see that it's now 10 p.m., and I get more and more nervous with each minute that passes by. The arms dealers didn't kill me, but what if Kim tells this next group to kill me? I say to myself out loud, which I can't stop thinking about. That's it. I have a plan. I'm going to douse this house with gasoline that we have in the shed and turn the oven gas on as well. When I hear them walking up the steps, I'll be out the window by then, and then I'll ignite the room and fall to the ground outside. I'll burn this fucking house to the ground. I quickly run down the stairs and go outside of the shed where we have 10 gallons of gas in storage for any possible shortage. I make 2 trips to the shed, and now I have the gas containers inside the house. I feel a little weird now, pouring gasoline all over my kitchen, living room, dining room, and upstairs, but I now know Kim's intent is for me to die, so if I don't do this, then I'm going to be murdered. I need to burn this fucking house down. I turn on the gas from the oven before I leave a trail of gasoline to the upstairs. I douse the second floor, including my bedroom, with gasoline, and then I wait by the window that faces the backyard with 1 foot out the window. I look at the clock and see that it's now 11 p.m. I keep my fingers crossed that the smell of the gas doesn't scare away the would-be killers or that the gas doesn't spontaneously ignite and kill me. I figure that whoever comes through that front door will be focused on murder, where their adrenaline will ignore the smell of the gasoline. At around 11:30 p.m., I hear a car pull into the driveway, through the window that is open. I hear multiple footsteps walk through the kitchen, then the dining room, and then the living room. I hear what sounds like a foreign language being spoken by at least 2 people with the words upstairs mixed in. I hear the footsteps walking up the steps, and I ready the lighter with the hope that the house doesn't instantaneously blow up when I use it. My whole body is tense, but I have to keep myself together. When I hear that the first person makes it all the way to the top of the stairs, I light the gasoline, which immediately turns the room into a ball of fire. I hear shrieks of horror as I quickly put my second leg through the window, and the second I fall to the ground outside, a large explosion forces me at least 15 yards back. I black out momentarily, and then I check my body to make sure all my limbs are present. I have a small shard of wood that was impaled in the side by my face. I'm lucky to be alive, I think to myself as I look at what's left of my smoldering house and my life of deceit with my bitch of a wife. Fire crews and EMS arrived, and they attempt to put the fire out and care to my wounds, but they take me to the hospital, and I stick to my story that Kim was downstairs with her friends, and I heard fire, so I jumped out the window. I throw in that Kim and I recently installed an oven, which might have had a slow leak. I then met with a fire chief and a detective who tell me that the explosion and the fire were so intense that they're not sure if they'll recover any remains, but they did tell me that Kim's car was parked out front. The most ironic part of all of this is that I actually took out a life insurance policy on Kim so that this wouldn't look suspicious. I'm going to be the one with the $2 million. I'm going to be the one to start over. I'm not sure if I can even prove any of this stuff, or how much of it is true, it isn't true, but frankly, I've been over this marriage for a long time, and I don't love her anymore, and I'm ready to move on, so the events that I've set forth, the place that I've gotten to, I'm totally happy with it. Marriage has always been the deepest regret of my life, and now I've freed myself of it.